Welcome all. Today we are going to discuss about the pneumatic circuits. This is the general layout of pneumatic system which consists of a compressor, air dryer, air receiver tank, filter, regulator, lubricator, direction control valve, then flow control valve, single acting or double acting cylinder and muffler. So in case of pneumatic system, the air is dragged from the atmosphere and atmospheric air is sent to the compressor. The compressor compresses the air up to certain pressure. Then this pressurized air is passed through the air dryer. The purpose of air dryer to remove the wet air particles to avoid any type of contamination in the system. Then this dry compressed air is stored in the air tank. Air tank receiver acts as a reservoir for the air. Then the air is passed through the one unit. That unit is known as the FRL unit. FRL stands for filter, regulator and lubricator. The purpose of filter is to remove the air contamination or any air contamination particle. Then regulator, the purpose of regulator is to regulate the constant pressure of the air, as air is compressible. So after certain time, the pressure of air may change and we require the constant pressure in the system to get the smooth operation. So for that purpose, we have to use the regulator. So regulator regulates the air pressure. Lubricator. So purpose of lubricator is to lubricate the air for the smooth operation of the DCV and the single acting or double acting cylinder. After that, the air is passed through the direction control valve. So purpose of direction control valve is to change the direction of the air. That is, for the extension and retraction, we can change the direction control valve. Then to regulate the flow of the air, we use the flow control valve. And to get the extension and retraction, we use the actuator, which may be single acting or double acting cylinder. In the return line, the air is directly sent to the atmosphere through the muffler. The purpose of muffler is to reduce the air noise. So this is the general layout of the pneumatic system. Now let us see some circuits of the pneumatic systems. First is operating double acting cylinder by using 5/2 direction control valve. In case of 5/2 direction control valve, so this is 5/2 direction control valve in which there are the 5 ports and 2 positions. Generally in pneumatic systems we avoid the center position because in the center position there may be a change in pressure as air is the compressible one. So A, B, T1, P and T2. These are the 5 ports in one position. So this is the symbol for FRL unit. So air is passing through the FRL unit. Compressed air from the compressor is passing through the FRL unit. From the FRL unit, the compressed air is passing through the P ports, from P port to A and from A to the C. At C port, there will be a utilization of Pascal's law. As per Pascal's law, the piston gets in the forward direction, that is extension. So from the FRL unit, air is passing through the P port from P to A to C, and from piston end we get the extension of the double acting cylinder. So air from the rod end side is passing through port R to the B to the T2, and T2 is the exhaust for the system. So from the exhaust, air is directly sent to the atmosphere. So this is the closed circuit for the 5/2 DCV, from compressor to FRL, FRL to P P to A to C, then extension. After extension, air from the rod end side is passing through the atmosphere. So this is the first stage of the 5/2 DCV. In the second stage, we can actuate this second stage by this lever. Once you operate this lever, you can go to the second stage. In the second stage, we get the retraction of the system. In the second stage, we get retraction of the system. In second circuit, by using the switches, the operation of double acting solenoid DCV, which is 4/2 DCV. So these are the limit switch 1, limit switch 2. The limit switches are operated by this type of construction at the rod end. So from the FRL, air is passing through the P port, P to A to C, and we get the extension. At full extension, this rod will actuate the limit switch 2, and this limit switch 2 has connection to the solenoid 2. This limit switch 2 has connection to the solenoid 2. Once the solenoid 2 is operated, we can shift the position from first position to the second position. The operation of this solenoid actuation is controlled by this limit switch 1 and limit switch 2. The operation gets vice versa. When we get the full retraction, at the retraction time, limit switch 1 will activate. This limit switch 1 will activate, and this limit switch 1 is directly connected to the solenoid 1. And in this way, we can shift the position from first position to the second position by using the solenoid valve. And solenoid valves are internally connected to the limit switch 1 and limit switch 2. Then operation of limit valves by using double pilot 4/2 DCV. In these systems, we have operated pneumatically operated pilot actuation, in which the actuation of limit valve 1 and limit valve 2 is fully controlled by this contact between this construction and the roller contact. Once you get the extension of the system, one of the valve will activate and you can shift the position from one to the second position. Then throttling in the double acting cylinder. Basically, throttling in is the meter-in circuit for the pneumatic system. So from the FRL unit, air is passing through this first position. From first position to the, there is one construction in which there is a combination of non-return check valve and the flow control valve, variable displacement flow control valve. You can change the speed of extension by controlling the flow control valve. As the check valve is in the opposite direction, the only way to pass the air is the flow control valve. By changing the opening of this flow control valve, you can get the change in speed of extension for the throttling in circuit. If you want to control the retraction by using meter-in or throttling in circuit, so for that purpose, we have to attach the adjustment of flow control valve plus check valve in the retraction end or in the return line. To control the retraction, we have to use the flow control valve in the retraction end. Now throttling out circuit for the direction double acting cylinder. So for the throttling out, we have attached this type of arrangement in the return line, in which only way to pass the air in the return line is through the flow control valve, because here check valve is attached in the opposite direction. So to control the extension by using throttling out circuit, the air is passing through this P port to A, then A to C, then extension will happen, and the oil from the rod end has only way to pass through this flow control valve. So by changing the opening of this flow control valve, you can change the speed of the extension using throttling out circuit. So similar working is there for the retraction in case of throttling out circuit. Then bleed off circuit. Bleed off circuit is the another speed control type of circuit for the pneumatic system. Here we have attached one opening directly to the atmosphere. Basically we are bypassing the air or bypassing the pressure of the air through the atmosphere through the flow control valve. So once you change the opening of this flow control valve, you can actually control the speed of extension, because if you close this flow control valve fully, then there will be whole pressure transfer from the direction control valve to the double acting cylinder. But if you slightly open this flow control valve, then there will be a reduction in the pressure from the compressor and less pressurized air is passing through this direction control valve. In this way, by changing the opening of this flow control valve, you can change the speed of the extension. Similar circuit is there for the retraction end. Next is speed control of the bidirectional air motor, which is combination of throttling in as well as throttling out circuit. So this is the bidirectional motor. Bidirectional motor has two ways direction, that is clockwise as well as anti-clockwise. Let us understand the working of bidirectional motor first. So in the first stage, the air is passing through FRL unit to the first position to the bidirectional motor, and you will get the clockwise motion in case of first stage, and in case of second stage you will get the anti-clockwise direction. In case of center position, you can stop the motor as there is no flow of air through the system, so motor may stop in the center position. So to control the speed of motor in the clockwise direction, we can change the opening of this flow control valve. Once you change the opening of flow control valve, there will be a restriction to the flow of air, and if there is a restriction to the flow of air, then the speed of this motor will automatically change. To change the speed in the clockwise direction, you have to change the opening of this flow control valve, because air is passing through in this way from check valve to the clockwise direction and return to this flow control valve and return to the air. Because at this position the check valve is in the opposite direction, so only way to transfer the air is through the flow control valve. In this way you can change the speed of motor by changing the opening of this flow control valve in the clockwise direction. Similarly for the anti-clockwise direction, air is passing through this check valve and in the anti-clockwise direction, and in the anti-clockwise direction only way to pass the air is through the flow control valve, because this check valve is in the opposite direction. So that's why to change the opening, to change the speed of motor in anti-clockwise direction, we have to change the opening of this flow control valve. In this way you can get the both directional speed control in the bidirectional motor circuit. Then next is sequential circuit of single acting cylinder. So this is the sequence valve we have used to operate the single acting cylinder in sequence. So from the FRL unit, air is first passed through the first position. Here we have used the 3/2 DCV, lever operated 3/2 DCV. From the atmosphere, air is passing through the compressor, through the FRL unit, through this DCV, through this cylinder 1. As you know, the sequence valve in the first stage will be normally closed type of valve. So air cannot be passed through this sequence valve initially because this is normally closed, and we have attached check valve in the opposite direction. So only way to pass the air is through this cylinder 1. Once the extension of this cylinder 1 is completed, the back pressure is created, and this back pressure will give the pilot to this sequence valve, and this sequence valve will get open. After extension of this cylinder 1, there will be a back pressure. That back pressure will create the pressure on the pilot pressure of the sequence valve, and this back pressure will open the sequence valve through this pilot, and air is passing through the sequence valve to the cylinder 2. Hence, after extension of cylinder 1, the sequence valve will open, and that sequence valve will continue the pressure up to extension of cylinder 2. In this way, we get the sequential operation. Sequence is as extension of cylinder 1, that cylinder 1 extension will create back pressure, that back pressure will open the sequence valve, and that sequence valve will transfer the air pressure to the cylinder 2. And in this way, we get the sequence of cylinder 1 and cylinder 2 for the extension. As it is single acting cylinder, the retraction will automatically take place once the spring pressure is released. So these are the some circuits used in the pneumatic circuits. Thank you.